Yo, family, what is good and welcome back to another daily Casper and crypto live stream. The theme of this stream today is going to be ultimately quite an informative one from where I'm standing, from what I have got ready to provide. And it's going to be giving a market update, what happened recently in the market, what will hopefully be the following or the likely outcome going forward, but also why, despite market conditions, why I remain extremely bullish on Casper even now. Of course, those who have been following me for a long time, you know I'm always the optimist. I'm always quite bullish. This stream will hopefully provide extra insight into why I believe what I do. So, as always, family, if you enjoy the content, the daily live streams, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more, turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out when I do go live. And also a disclosure right now. Turns out I'm not going to have an internet tomorrow, apparently, or a lackluster thereof. My internet provider, Community Fiber, is doing maintenance, so from 1 p.m. to 1 p.m. the Monday, I'm not going to have any internet for 24 hours, so there will not be a live stream tomorrow, unfortunately. But we'll be back on Monday and hopefully looking at a better market thereof as well. I'll still be somewhat active on Discord, just no streams and maybe no videos tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But that being said, family, welcome back once again. We have Dung Knight here first. Welcome back, my man. And baby daddy Big Codswallop in the house. You know it. Mr. Miles first. As always, welcome back, brother. And you too, Bet. Good evening, my man. And everyone else tuning in right now. Hopefully you're having a good weekend so far and are ready to hopefully expand your understanding. Go on this journey with me. Expand your understanding and knowledge of what's happening right now and also why I remain bullish on Casper. It's true, QC has always been bullish on Kaspa, almost as bullish as he is on XRP. When I said I de-risked my bag, holding more stables, I sold the lot of my XRP bag, have you know? I sold the lot of my XRP bag, and it's currently in stablecoins, and then when I DCA back in, either it may be to XRP, but more than likely it's going to be into Kaspa, or something else that I perceive having maybe stronger short-term volatility to then cycle into Kaspa at a later date. To which the picks in regards to what I'm looking at, I've already showcased to my VIP community, from certain Dino projects that are currently doing well or I think will do well, to looking at potential AI picks or even real world assets. Again, to know what I'm referring to, know what I'm talking about, check out the VIP, links are down below in the description. Now, as we look at the market chart today, Bitcoin is currently up 1.16% on the daily time frame, valued at $95,600. It, acted in accordance to what we spoke about yesterday when we saw that mass correction for Bitcoin from roughly 100k down to 94k. We highlighted that there was a level of support around that region here, as well as down here further below. But Bitcoin came down here and was rejected here. So of course, Bitcoin has started to make a bit of a rally. We are by no means out of the woods just yet. We could definitely see more weakness being shown, and Bitcoin come down a little bit further. Although I'm hearing some wind or some whispers in the grapevine, whatever, that the TGA and the Fed are going to start injecting some form of liquidity in the coming days or so. Now the government shutdown is over, they're going to have the ability to do so. So if that is the case, then we'll hopefully start seeing the market recover a little bit. But what actually happened? Well, Casper Lenz gave a good insight here, which I completely agree with. So this is ultimately what has happened as well. Can you explain why your portfolio is 80% allocation XRP? I hope you're joking. I think you are joking. It's definitely not. I hold 0 XRP now. The most I ever had in XRP was 10% out of the most, and even then I was kind of concerned by that because XRP is centralized. I didn't like the idea of having 10% in XRP. Right now, I have probably about, I say, 30-40% in stables, and the rest in Casper right now. And maybe some other projects here and there that I spoke about with my VIPs as well that I still think are worth holding right now, like Tau, which I spoke about publicly as well. But anyways, as we can see from this post from Casper Lens, which I completely agree with, let me explain why crypto dumped Casper also very hard yesterday is actually super simple. And it is when you think about it. Yesterday, the whole financial market shifted from this uncertain risk off, risk on to completely risk off. which means all the big investors, they pulled the money out of the risky assets, be it tech, high beta stocks, and of course that being crypto as well. And the reason why is because the market suddenly thinks interest rates will stay high for longer. If you looked at CME or KYC or any of these kind of prediction markets, or read through the news, there's a increasing speculation or increasing thesis now that the Fed's hawkish stance is going to actually stand firm. We were expecting a total of 3 rate cuts this year, which is going to be in September, October, and December. And there are even calls for having more rate cuts right now. We had September, we had October, but in the October FOMC meeting, the Fed stated that they're going to probably be more hawkish. They're not so sure if we need another rate cut in December. And that alone has caused a lot of uncertainty in the market, again, forced by the government shutdown, and has resulted in this sentiment shifting from risk on to more so risk off. And if you can earn 5% safely, why gamble on Bitcoin or other cryptos? That's also a very fair point. That's the whole sentiment. If the interest rates remain higher, you go towards bonds, the so-called safe holdings, because you can make your 5% quite comfortably there on a long period of time, or you can gamble with more speculative, high volatile assets, be it your stocks, your high beta stocks, tech, or even your cryptos that are got higher return. And you're a big investor with millions and millions of capital. You can put in $1 million to 5% and you're making, I'm trying to do the math in my head now, 200k, 20k, 200k, 20k, bosh. Yes, that is the right math, isn't it? Sorry, just give me a second. Was it 50k? I think it's 20k. Point being is, if you've got millions and millions and millions of capital, you're not going to invest it into higher risk, high reward necessarily, and you have a very, very small portfolio of it. You're going to invest in the ones that are going to make you significant gains, smaller percentile gains, but more guaranteed returns, which is ultimately what we saw right here. So the big money has taken the safe option because we've gone towards risk off. The trigger has been the Fed funds futures has tanked, which you can see right here. The futures have tanked significantly right now, and we've seen the chance of rate cuts also dropping continuously day after day now. Tech's dumped, high beta has dumped, crypto's collapsed. It's not magic, it's not weird, it's just basic macro. That's also why I've been reiterating time and time again, you need to understand the macroeconomic news, understand how the markets move. You can't just look at technical analysis and rely on that alone, or just look at the price and be like, price is going down, we're screwed. Learn why it's happening. The market is not dumping because Kaspa or crypto is bad. It's dumping because macroeconomic news is shifting from risk on to risk off. So therefore, crypto is no longer as desirable, at least getting into right now. And just to make things worse, new data shows the US shutdown damage is bigger than expected. There's lower growth and there's no rate cuts, which means even more sentiment shifting towards risk off. If we don't get rate cuts, we're going to see the sentiment shift more towards risk off. So, in the long and short of it, less chance of rate cuts is a risk off, means crypto goes down. More chance of rate cuts is a risk on, means crypto goes up. Crypto moves with liquidity, not with influencers' fancy charts and fantasy charts. And that's again why, while I have the utmost respect to every content creator who does have their own analysis and whatever they say about crypto markets and whatnot, I also have always reiterated the sentiment on just purely looking at technical analysis is not enough. It can't be enough. I mean, hey, the traders that we have in our group have equally been doing TA, and they also reiterate that you need to have fundamentals with it as well to understand how to maximize the benefits from the space. You can't look at technical analysis alone, because TA would have told you that Bitcoin's going to reverse at 98k here, and it broke below it, and it found support here. So you've got to understand what's happening in the market right now. It's a shame that rate cuts have caused such significant impact on the markets, because you think about it in the grand scheme of things, we have had till September, this whole year 2025, we had no rate cuts. 2025 started here, we had no rate cuts all the way to September, all the way to here. And in that time, we saw Bitcoin make 2 all-time highs. Bitcoin go to 125k. So we don't need rate cuts to perform well, but unfortunately, that is the general sentiment. We need rate cuts. So that's why the markets have been corrected so heavily, because the market has shifted towards more so risk off. That may change. This may change. According to a article, this was published by the Financial Times, US money market risks about a new bout of stress. Wall Street banks say Federal Reserve may need to begin asset purchases if short-term rate flares up again. So basically, there was apparently an emergency meeting very, very recently where money market funds and Wall Street banks got together, and they basically came to the decision or conclusion that, you know, there's a very, very big issue right now where short-term funding rates, specifically the tri-party repo rate, they are starting to become a little bit, starting to rise a little bit, which is not ideal at all. Because they're rising right now, the interest rates are rising, which means therefore it becomes more expensive to take out any loans, which is becoming a problem right now because there is also a lack of money in the economy. So to counter that, the Fed basically has got to end QT and also start printing money to prevent this from happening. So apparently, according to the article we looked through, the New York Fed President John Williams and Dallas Fed President Laureen Logan suggested that the banking system reserves may be moving from abundant to ample, or have already reached a critical point, leading some to argue that the Fed may need to stop QT or even begin outright asset purchases to stabilize the crucial funding market. The long and short of it is, if the Fed don't act soon enough and start buying, start printing money and starts QE, we could be on the cusp of a financial collapse. That's how I have kind of perceived it. We already are in a dire situation as a whole. Despite markets all across the board being near all-time highs, sentiment has been extremely low, and the general economy all around the world, everything is ridiculous for the everyday people, be it your groceries, be it housing prices, be it your mortgages. Everything is just ridiculously expensive right now, and it's only going up. Investment markets are going up more so as well, so there's a give and a take in that. But we're at a very crucial point where, also a breaking point, if you will. So while we saw significant sell-offs recently as sentiment shifts more towards risk off, we're also seeing that the Fed are in a very tight spot where, as much as they want to be hawkish, there's such a lack of liquidity in the US economy right now that if they don't start printing money soon and start bolstering their reserves, then the banks are going to have nothing and they're going to end up going bankrupt. A bank going bankrupt is not ideal at all. So they are going to have to make some moves soon. We know QT ends in 15 days' time. On the 1st of December, we'll see QT come to an end, which is good. Hopefully, that will also cycle relatively quickly into quantitative easing. It's not guaranteed, of course. We have been seeing some signs of Fed already starting to make some more purchases right now, which is good. Hopefully, it continues in that fashion. Now, as we move on, I want to get into some Kaspa news, and then we'll come back to posts like this as well. Which again, I think it's gonna be also showcasing 2 slides from some of my alpha documents. Again, don't want to show off too much of them, but it's again just giving more insight into why I'm not particularly worried about crypto or Kaspa as well. Before I do though, freedom for crypto, welcome back. Kaspa makes me sick. Fair enough, brother. It makes me sick too, sick with greed. I need more. I agree, Mr. Miles. I mean, right now, as I mentioned to my community and to all of you here, once we go below 98k Bitcoin, I'm going to hold more stables and just wait for a bit more of a confirmed signal, which right now we came to 94k, so we lost below that, so I started holding more stables. I did see a little bit into Kaspa, but other than that, I'm not buying anything now. I'm waiting to see if we go down a little bit further. I might buy some here, hoping that we'll find a reversal here at the 30% pullback zone. Or if you start going back up, I might start DCing back up again. But I mean, I've already got a sizable bag. I don't need to be too greedy. Of course, you know the saying, the Rothschilds say, be greedy when others are fearful. And, you know, that's the reason why they're one of the biggest powerhouses in the world. But I've already got a sizable bag, so I don't feel I need to be too overzealous right now. But Bitcoin, yes, is showing some strength today, which is good. But we need to hope that it can continue in that fashion and start going back up. For me, Bitcoin probably needs to surpass, again, 116k for me confirms net leg of the bull run coming in. If you surpass 108k here, I would like to say we're probably in quite a strong spot. We need to surpass this little top here. So Bitcoin to go up here. We might see a rejection here. If we can go past there, then hopeful that we'll see the next leg up kind of almost inevitably incoming. Welcome back, Double D Bros. You're doing very, very well. The fake window appears to be holding up very well. Yeah, very, very fake. Absolutely fake window. Welcome back, Andy A. I've got 90 more caps today. Love to hear that, brother. Keep stacking that bag. Looking very healthy indeed. How sizable of a bag? Still a fish. Or was it a fish? Yeah, I think it's still a fish, but getting more. I get a little bit more here and there. Rumor has it that QC has around 6 million Kaspa. Lord, I wish. Lord, I wish. If I had 6 million Kaspa, I would just sit back and do nothing, knowing that my money will hopefully come. I still have utmost faith in Kaspa. We'll get into that right now, actually. This whole crypto cycle, I'm fishing behind the net. Dutch thought I'm always a little late to anticipate the market changes. It happens so damn fast. Yeah, this market has been probably one of the most volatile of our history, of our lifetime. Crypto's always been very, very volatile, but it's also been so unpredictable in particular, unless you're the ones controlling the market. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough. Don't worry, but we're all in somewhat similar boats. I mean, again, if in the case we do get that cycle extension, which I'm still hoping and praying for, in that regard, therefore, our community, this live stream, this channel, but equally my VIP community, we were made aware of this back in August, so we have had ample chance to prepare in accordance to that. Some trends you can predict, but some of them, like October 10th, you can find reasons for why, but I don't think anybody could have predicted October 10th mass liquidity event, and I think the markets are still struggling and trying to recover from that. But you've seen a lot more pullback since then as well. Kaspa bull run is about to begin. 16-month bear market will run while everyone's sleeping. I mean, that would be an absolute blessing, no doubt, if that was to happen, LB. I completely agree. Wait, you're not even dolphin status? I don't believe you. I'm not. I'm still a fish. I'm trying to get there though. Hopefully soon. Hopefully with Kaspa being so low right now, I have more opportunity to do so. But I'm already comfortable where I'm at. I want to keep going higher, of course, but I'm already comfortable where I'm at. I don't feel like I need to be too greedy right now. But I'll continue to stack more and more. Again, if Kaspa is what I perceive it to be, which we all do, then I'll continue to stack it and make good off that. I don't know where this XRP stuff's coming from at all. It's completely incorrect. I have nothing in XRP now. So to start off with, actually, I want to go into these two videos first. This is from Kaspa Hype Man, Wolfie, where he is, I'm not entirely sure or remember where these interviews came from, but he's basically discussing a recent discussion he had with Michael Sutton in regards to Polinsky as well. This is one of the 3 odd reasons or so I'm going to showcase in this stream as to why I still remain bullish on Kaspa. One is exactly what Wolfie states in these 2 videos here regarding the DAGNITE development, and how Polinsky and Michael Sutton were told that this idea of DAGNITE is literally impossible. It's unachievable. It can never be done. But Polinsky and friends have cracked that and are now in the process of making it reality. And when they do that, there is not even a question of it. DAGNITE will be the most innovative invention, the most explosive innovative invention of crypto's lifetime since Bitcoin's inception in 2008. Which makes Kaspa by far, at that point, they're head and shoulders above everything else. The ability to have a protocol that can scale with latency while remaining decentralized, nothing can compete with that. And that will gain adoption. So listen closely to these 2 clips here. And we'll continue going from there on as well.
Michael Sutton came up with this concept of parameterless protocols. It's very complicated from what I understand. So in my cat brain, how I picture it is like right now, like Bitcoin and all the coins, even Kaspa right now, they have this assumed, this just in case waiting time, like a timeout. We gotta hang out for a couple minutes or at least several seconds. Like even for Kaspa right now, it's 18 seconds. So that's what all the projects in the whole world have right now, this just in case thing. You know, just in case there's some internet problem or some weird thing that's making them not find out about the next blocks that just came out, we're just gonna wait. this long time, just in case, right? So Michael Sutton had this idea, what if we didn't wait just in case? What if we assumed that there is no problem and everybody hears about it right away? And then we build a sensing mechanism where we monitor the network and we look for delays. And then if we begin to sense delays in some problem like internet or some problem somewhere in some part of the world, then we start to scale in a little bit of a wait. And then if the problem gets worse, we can put a little bit more temporary waiting time. And then when the problem goes away, we remove the waiting time again. So that's what DAG-Knight is. And nobody else ever thought anything like this. To give you an idea how complicated it is, okay, he thought of the idea 3 years ago, and it was said to be, like, in the research papers in the world of computer science, what they call an impossibility. Like, they said it's impossible, okay? So all the smartest people in the world that thought about it said, it's impossible to do this. But he thought maybe it's not impossible. And then they got almost all the way there. He thought about it, wrote down formulas and stuff on paper for 2.5 years thinking about how they can do it. They got almost the whole thing together. There was one piece of the puzzle missing, and he went over it and over and over it, and he almost had he had to pause. He was thinking, I'm spending more and more time on this, and it may actually be an impossibility. Maybe they were right. So he had to stop and then focus on something else, which happened to be Rust programming language, for a couple months. And then all of a sudden, one day, out of the universe, the answer came. And they got it. And they proved it on paper that it's possible. So, in a nutshell, they say they're confident that it's pretty much the largest breakthrough advance in distributed computing and distributed systems since 2008 when Bitcoin came out.
That is one of the 3 biggest reasons that I have right now as to why I will still remain bullish on Kaspa. The timeline is still very much unknown, but we are now given some form of clarity that DAG-Knight is no longer an impossible theory, but actually a plausible reality. Tom Polinsky, Michael Sutton, they have cracked how to create a protocol that can scale with latency. If Tom Polinsky's Ghost DAG was, the inception that created Kaspa, that's meant to be one of the most innovative designs there is in architectures, and Phantom and Spectre is his baby as well. Ghost DAG is the idea of DAG-Knight is Ghost DAG and Phantom had a child, and they have created DAG-Knight, the idea where you can scale with latency and still remain completely decentralized and secure. That's one of the 3 reasons why I remain bullish on Kaspa, because when this comes out, which we're hearing rumors about it potentially being in 2026, but honestly, who knows? The thing is, no one, apart from the core team, have an idea of how long this will take to come out. The thing is, many are under the impression it's going to take years and years and years, and maybe it will do, but you've got to understand as well that the idea of DAG-Knight, a lot of the code is already there. It's basically a massive upgrade from the Ghost DAG. So over half the coding in regards to DAG-Knight is already there in Ghost DAG. It's just trying to find a way to weave in this new upgrade, this hard fork that would make Ghost DAG a DAG-Knight and so much more efficient. But that is one of the, again, 3 reasons why I'm still so bullish on Kaspa, because the idea that DAG-Knight would be the most innovative, revolutionary upgrade and technological advancement in crypto since Bitcoin's inception. So in finance, not even in crypto, it'd be the biggest advancements in finance since Bitcoin's inception. That's something that's going to get adopted, and we're going to prove that in a moment as well when we talk about the KRI and DRI. That's the 3rd reason. The 2nd reason is also the recent decision in regards to vProgs as well. Michael Sutton made an article, not Michael Sutton, Dr. Martin Heifberg upholds CEO made an article recently in regards to, Solana, Ethereum rollups and whatnot, and this individual here, Ivan, made a post basically talking about what we could read on here. He raised a new perspective to look into the issues with which the current layer 2s have due to the lack of base layer scalability, transformed not only into parasitic chain stealing activity from the layer 1 and cannibalizing its economic model, but into a centralized and manipulative environment to such an extent that with all hacks, breakdowns, and funds stolen, it has positioned cryptocurrency as casino. The fact that you've got layer 2s that are very, very parasitic, be it your base, be it your Arbitrum, be it your uni chain, like all these chains, they're layer 2 on top of the layer 1, but they fragment the layer 1 and they result in just a lack of security, a lack of decentralization as well, and they manipulate these environments that caused this crypto casino that we see right now. We can't invest our own money into any crypto projects but without using a layer 2 and giving away for free of our sovereignty once we bridge to the layer 2. Yes, this is scalable and looks sexy as a product, but what we should be talking about is what the sacrifice actually is for all of us when the layer 2 is costing more than our money invested. After 15 years of crypto existence, the genesis focus of decentralized money has totally been forgotten and transformed into private business venues and for layer 2s, and the companies behind them, which can switch off and steal these funds of most people faster than banks and financial institutions ever could, they're the ones profiting from this. We saw recently about how BNB, according to Bybit's Lazarus study, BNB, one of the largest chains, most popular chains in the world, they have the ability just to steal and freeze all your funds. Somebody asked me, if you had BNB in a non-custodial wallet, could it be frozen? Yes, it could be. Because the idea is that the governance, those who are kind of in charge of BNB, which I think CZ Binance has well over 50% of the supply, if you wanted to freeze the whole protocol, therefore freezing all the funds, then yes, it doesn't matter if your BNB is in a non-custodial cold storage, it won't be able to be used. So yes, that's an issue that we currently have. And that's what's happened right now with decentralization being forgotten. Right now it's a case of, and the reason why it's been forgotten as well, because when Bitcoin came out, as fantastic as it is, there is no way to scale Bitcoin. So all these other proof of stakes have come out, has been a means to create a new form of money that is, low cost, high finality. It's a very, very quick, very cheap form of payment mechanism, which is what the new world needs, the new digital world needs. Bitcoin couldn't handle that. So therefore, it came to the conclusion, many of the leading academics came to the conclusion that it is feasibly impossible for you to have a scalable and secure and decentralized mechanism. So they sacrificed decentralization to basically create new digital banks that do the exact same thing. Something that's quick and scalable and has their own levels of security, but they can still freeze your funds whenever they want to, so it's security by you trusting them. We're on the verge of financial collapse as the next economic crisis, which will be much worse than the dot-com bubble and housing mania in 2008. That's factual. I don't think it'll be as bad as the Great Depression, but it will be sufficiently worse than the last two crises we saw. Because now we're talking about people not trying to invest in some asset like those in previous crises, but actually losing their money while playing casino. The priceless question, have we imagined and visualized cryptocurrency as a casino? Many of us will say that this is a rhetorical question, and of course the answer is no, but the following question is, why have we allowed this to happen? Because we respect quick money more than hard-earned money. And of course, with the idea of VPROGs also going to be coming up soon enough, VPROGs is something that's going to be able to give you true self-sovereignty while being on the layer 1. So you could have your base, your Arbitrums, your Casplexes, your Labs, your Unis. You can have your all these other layer 2 chains that come on top of Kaspa. But with VPROGs implemented, the activity of these layer 2 chains will be self-sovereign to each other. So you could have base acting in bad faith, trying to steal funds on their layer 2 from all the users that are using it, but it won't affect the native layer 1 of Kaspa, therefore not affecting what Caspa is doing, what Labs is doing, what Arbitrum will be doing. This is all in theory, of course, because none of those chains are on Kaspa, maybe in the future. But that is why VPROX is also so sufficiently important. VPROX achieve unprecedented composability by seamlessly establishing communication models between all layer 2s and validating combined ZK proofs, which allows us to execute any transaction with one click without bridging, swapping, paying fees to the layer 2, and destroying the layer 1 through dragging out its activity. We will no longer talk about the layer 1 having a separate market cap from all the layer 2s built in it. For the first time, we will have a layer 1 which will have the combined value of its own architecture plus the whole ecosystem built on top of it. That's also why you're the likes of Ego Labs who are in the process even now of trying to create a mechanism that will be able to utilize these VPROX, because that's what we want to see. So that's the second reason why I'm still bullish on Kaspa despite all of this stuff as well, because we've got Dag Knight, absolute game changer, and VPROX, equally absolute game changer. I think the combination of both is going to completely shake up this space. And the third reason comes from the KII. So in this article here, it talks about the so-called Kaspa intern, Angel Reyes, Kaspa intern, who was in attendance at the event in Dubai. And it's quite a big deal from what I can read through it, from what I read through it. So the conference was co-organized by the government of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, during the second day of the agenda. He serves as the Undersecretary of Energy and Petroleum Affairs of the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure for the UAE. The core subject of the two-day conference analysed the importance of resilience, sustainability, energy trading, and energy efficiency in the region, including the high demand for energy generation and energy trading infrastructure in the context of the development and existing systems, and the current AI and the infrastructure necessary for data centers to match market demands. So that was the kind of main summary of what the whole conference at Dubai was about. But he spoke about Kaspa here as well. Roy O'Neill on the second day spoke about Kaspa and the block DAG architecture and solving the blockchain dilemma here. And we've looked through the presentation as well. I made a video on my channel talking about some of the big developments in regards to that as well. Okay, I don't know why it does this all the time. There you go. Like in this regards to this video here I made, some of the big catalysts that's going to come up regarding the KR, equally this one here as well. But we can see here as a short list of some of the companies who are in attendance. PLC, 34 billion annual revenue, who've been around for over 145 years. EDF Group, 140 billion revenue, the second biggest one there. 78 years. You've got GE here, Vernova, 33 billion. Siemens Energy, 31 billion euros. Air Product, the big one. State Grid, SGCC, State Grid Corporation of China, $500 billion annual revenue. You've got other massive institutions here. All of this alone, it amounts to, do quick maths in my head right now, probably about, I'm going to say 800, give or take. Probably $800 to $900 billion worth of annual revenue sitting in this list here, and that's just a list of some of them. I'm sure there are many. I mean, you heard Roy O'Neill in the Wolfie AMA. There's each individual or representative from the KRI was talking to 30 to 40 different institutions and people rep from them. This is just a small list. This is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 11 of them. There's at least like 40, if not more, we are missing. Roy O'Neill said, not Roy O'Neill, Paul Van Son said there was 120 plus institutions who are currently in attendance. So that's just giving you a small insight into some of the big corporations. These industrial leaders represent trillions in combined market value and play central roles in global energy, hydrogen, infrastructure, and industrial transformation here. And they are all now looking at Kaspa. Let's read on a little bit further, shall we? So the companies at the DRI Summit collectively accounted for hundreds of gigawatts of global energy infrastructure, which is, their footprint surpasses 700 gigawatts easily all around the world. Conversations around Zeta, Gigawatt Coin, and ZETEX represents the settlement tool to exchange energy instruments permissionless If even a fraction of the energy infrastructure's trade flows were settled using Kaspa's digital infrastructure as a carrier, it would represent a groundbreaking integration of digital finance into the global energy market, adding unprecedented speed and transparency to energy settlement and trade. Not every day the Undersecretary of the UAE opens a conference. If you take a look at the protocol where he is sitting during the event, he's sitting right next to Paul Van Son. Kaspa currency, represented by the KRI, presented alongside these global heavyweights, is definitely a strategic milestone that signals strong institutional positioning for real-world energy, digital infrastructure, AI-powered systems, and hydrogen value chain opportunities. Even Fortune 500 companies also looking at Kaspa as well. And this is the last parts here, I think, are the most critical parts as well. Reflection for the normal crypto bros out there. So those who are just purely looking at this and thinking, oh, why is it not making mainstream news? Why is it not helping the price? Yada, yada, yada. Take the largest Bitcoin holder for a second, MicroStrategy. That company does not sell any Bitcoin and it's declining revenue right now before it started purchasing Bitcoin. So MSTR, MicroStrategy, became relevant only after purchasing Bitcoin and building the financial product it has now around it. But you take a step back again, and you consider that these companies, MicroStrategy's whole business is around just buying Bitcoin. Not the use case of Bitcoin, just buying Bitcoin and keep stacking more and more Bitcoin. These companies here, these institutions, these global leaders here, trillions of dollars of revenue here. These people, they have existed for, some of them, over a century. And they are established industrial giants in the energy field. And the DRI are the ones helping bridge this gap between them and Kaspa. These presentations were delivered to top executives and decision makers of this industry. The initiatives presented by the KRI are part of their current piloting and project development that are building for their stakeholders with a clear market fit. Kaspa was not mentioned in the context of crypto. It was presented as an infrastructure tool for delivering a solution to this industrial sector. And if you read a little bit further here, you've got some stuff talking about Lehman Bush Capital in the UAE will be a licensed fund manager of Abu Dhabi. They're going to hopefully have the approval and legal vehicles by Q1 2026. And they're also working alongside the Kaspa Qualified Investment Fund. That's pretty big. We are discussing with various stakeholders, not only for joining as limited partners of anchor investors, but also as part of our board and management. In a sense, we have discussed with both the KRI and KEF for bridging together support in our board. And we are considering also incorporating an advisor in the future coming from this community as an expert in discussing governance matters. Long and short of it, again, this is just from a third party, the so-called Kaspa intern, but evidently someone who's part of these discussions here. This individual is convinced Kaspa is a powerhouse of innovation, research, and revolutionary technology that will impact the world. But when this tech meets industrial players who spent centuries building the backbone of global infrastructure, that's when the impact becomes exponential. You have right now the entire world as we know it all starting to finally get into this space. It's been a long run. Crypto has been shunned for the first 15 years of its existence, and now for the last 3, it's starting to be accepted and it's starting to accelerate. The price does not reflect that, but the adoption is very much obvious. One document here that I've showcased on stream already, premium insight to my VIPs. This is from Visa. This is from Visa here. And here, in this Visa document, they highlight crypto is moving from a niche asset class of a small community of investors to a broader market increasingly accessible for mainstream and new adopters. Crypto is still in the early stages though, but it is growing fast. And then you also got the other document here, this one from Franklin Templeton, a $1.5 trillion asset manager. The compelling use cases for crypto, 8 use cases, reasons why you should be investing into crypto. I'm not going to show all of them. I'm going to just show one of them because I don't think I need to show one. So this page I want to show. And that, actually, you know what? I'll show these 2. Those 2 I wanted to show, that one. Let me just double check actually, because I want to make sure I get the right slide very easily. This one. No. Franklin Templeton, where was it? I'm looking through my executive. I got so many sources to look through in my community. I should probably just type in Franklin Templeton. Yeah, let's type it in. Franklin Templeton. Here you are. I want to look through 3 and 6. Yeah, sure, why not? So here's 3. Institutional adoption is fueling growth. Increasingly, institutions and government entities are investing in digital assets, and this is helping to drive the overall market cap of the asset class, which stood at 3.3 trillion as of December 31st, 2024. It's now back to a similar price right now. But the long and short of it is, investors who ignore digital assets are essentially making an active call to underweight what is now a legitimate new asset class. It's a niche, it's still small, but it's becoming legitimate. And then you can look in here, there's parallels with 1990s internet growth. The growth in the number of crypto users has a striking resemblance to the growth of internet users in late 1990s. And we know how big the internet is right now. And crypto, from all research purposes, is going to be bigger than the internet. So these are both premium insights that I've published the whole documentation and sources to in my VIP community. If you want to find out the information, check out the VIP 7-day free trial available. You can get access to the community for free for a period of time. Equally, you can get an added month free trial with BYDFI. So you can leverage all the information in there for free, be it trade alerts we provide in there, be it alpha documentation like that, and much more. So you can level up your knowledge, because ultimately right now, with there being so much uncertainty right now, with FUD being so high, knowledge is where you can really build for the future. Because despite the markets going down right now and things looking a bit bleak, and we may be going into a bear cycle, that's still on the card. We are looking into where we could be going from here, but ultimately making sure that if we are going into a bear cycle, even if we're not, we are positioning ourselves so we know where the money is going to be going into, which it is going to be crypto, it's going to be parts of AI as well, it's going to be infrastructure projects. And this here is proof to me that Kaspa is not late. It is still early. You've got some of the biggest, oldest, well-established institutions in the world who are working alongside DII, who are now hearing about Kaspa, who are now wanting to learn where to buy Kaspa and utilize Kaspa as an infrastructure tool for the energy market, for the global tokenization market going forward as well. And that's only going to accelerate with the implementation of the DAG-Knight protocol when that becomes reality, hopefully next year. And equally with VPROGs being a growing thing as well, which we're meant to be apparently hearing an estimated timeline in the coming weeks from now, according to Michael Sutton, which hopefully means you'll see it maybe mid to late 2026. Again, we'll have to wait and see. But those are 3 of the biggest reasons as to why I remain bullish on Kaspa despite the bad price action. DAG-Knight, absolutely huge stuff. The most innovative development in crypto since Bitcoin's inception. If an individual can recognize that DAG-Knight is everything that Satoshi Nakamoto wanted Bitcoin to be, and more so, Bitcoin maxis, while I've been very resilient and holding strong and ignorant to Kaspa, it'll be harder to ignore going forward. And then when you've got big institutions, again, you've got Michael Saylor talking about Bitcoin, buying it more and more and more. What's the use case for it? There is none. There's no use case for Bitcoin besides being a store of value, and that's going to inevitably fall off because there is no way you can uphold the sustainability and security of the network when all Bitcoin is mined out. You're not going to use transactions, therefore you're not going to have any incentive to mine Bitcoin. There's not going to be any, you're not getting any money from transactions. Kaspa has that leverage to go in for, therefore. VPROGs will make everything self-sovereign, so you can also all be on the Kaspa layer 1 and be secure. And then DII and KRI and these institutions want to utilize Kaspa and leverage it to build so many interesting projects. Only 4 we know of: Asset Mint, which is the real estate market, Gigawatts, stablecoin market, and energy market, ZTEX, a zero emission trading exchange market, and also Warpcore, the cross-border payments bank market, RS2022, the biggest markets in the world, the most impactful markets in the world. Kaspa is going to start tapping into them. I don't think we're late at all. You're hearing, while crypto becoming a more established asset class right now, and we're at this bubble that's about to pop, by all means, is now perceived as a legitimate new asset class. We are still early. It's growing fast, but still early. And Kaspa, for me, is not late. I don't think it's late in the slightest right now. I think we've still got a lot more time ahead of us. So it's not a matter. It's just a matter of. That's again why. More so recently as well, I've been shilling the VIP I have, because one thing I take pride in is my research, alongside everything else provided there as well. But I think the research, I know Tony and Joking and those in there can attest to that. The research alone is very informative and gives them extra clarity in regards to where the space is going, and ultimately why become remain logical and not emotional in these times. The price is sucky, it's rubbish. But when you see what is being built in this space, it lets you know that we are still right in our belief to invest into crypto and also in Kaspa. If you want to find out more, again, check out the VIP. Links are down below in the description. You can leverage those free trials, and if you don't want to be a part of it afterwards, that's perfectly fine. You just cancel your membership and you won't be charged. Equally, if you want to understand more, leverage more of the community and make most of what is in there, sign up. That's perfectly fine as well. But you can utilize the 1 week free trial and equally the extra month free trial if you sign up to BYDFI and follow the steps in there as well. Which the information about that is in the Get VIP Access channel, which is on my free Discord server right here as well. So follow the steps right there and you'll have access to everything you want to see and get access to all the documentation here. We've got 3 documents in there from like Signum Bank, Bitwise and SwiftX talking about an extended cycle as well, which also is currently playing into the theory right now as well. And much, much more. Also giving us clarity on what we can invest into, AI stuff. I mean, again, you saw it here, that KRI were talking about how Kaspa can also be leveraged in AI markets. Where was that section? I saw that earlier. AI-powered systems. If that is the case, if these strong institutional players are positioning themselves and therefore also positioning Kaspa for real-world energy, digital infrastructure, AI-powered systems, and hydrogen value chain opportunities in Kaspa, is everything we're talking about in our executive community can be easily attributed to Kaspa. We only know 3 or 4 of the 23 projects the KII and DII have planned with Kaspa. We have such a little idea of everything else, and it could be AI stuff. If AI stuff, then Kaspa is no doubt going to completely shake up this whole crypto landscape. You might see many, many assets capitulate and go to zero against Kaspa. Bitcoin probably will, in the not immediate, but in the future to be. And everything else, if they don't start jumping on board and leveraging Kaspa, they're also going to fall off as well. They're going to have to migrate from being the protocols. I mean, say that, there's still very much a strong belief, and I could care to agree, there's going to be multiple protocols in the future, like with the internet. You know, you have HTTP, but you had, Linux as well and other stuff as well. So you might have multiple protocol providers and whatnot for different use cases, but I think Kaspa is going to become the main one going forward once all these developments come through in the coming months and years to follow, and KRI continue to utilize and leverage Kaspa going forward, and you get these institutions using Kaspa. It's insane stuff. Markets suck, but price is a distraction from, and actually I'll bring that post up right now again. I think I made a post about it on my channel as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, for reference, I forgot to mention Wallet 1 again scooped up more Kaspa, which is not unsurprising, honestly. We're still stacking Kaspa, another 2.7 million Kaspa, which means now this wallet scooped up 43.5 million Kaspa this month in 2 weeks. That's insane stuff. And again, a testament to well still stacking, which is why I want to reiterate again, price volatility and regulatory implications, they dominate what we believe our public discourse, our public opinions, but these are only service distractions in what is becoming the foundational layer for the next generation of financial market infrastructure and innovative technology. You could argue, therefore, Kaspa's price is a distraction for what it's about to do when it's integrated into the financial system going forward, with the KRI and DII leveraging this technology going forward. Don't be emotional, be logical, keep doing research and understand what is going on in this space. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out time and time again. There's also some other quick news before I get into some comments real quickly. The Kaspa on-chain account has changed ownership from Christian Ludwig because he didn't want to do it anymore, and has gone, I think, gone to Kava. And there's been a lot of controversy with it right now. All the information about it, I'm sure, is buzzing through the Kaspa community. Everyone knows what about it. I personally just don't care. I'm only highlighting on stream because someone might have asked about it. I don't care. It's not news. I don't particularly want to talk about it. If you don't want the Kaspa accounts posting, unfollow them. Kaspa's bigger than just one unofficial account. You know, she's taking it over. She's basically paying some ghostwriters, crypto bro degens to just shit post on the account. Some of it was quite insensitive stuff, truth be told, but it's not deep. It's really not deep. And if you find that frustrating, then just don't follow it. And the argument people make, people are going to type in Kaspa and find that account. Are they? It's the biggest account for Kaspa, no doubt about it. But if you type in Kaspa, what do you see? If you type in Kaspa, what do you see? You do see Kaspa Unchained, fair enough. But the people who you can see right now, the posts are not coming from Kaspa Unchained. That's not the post you get coming up. You get Scape, you get Alex, Kaspa, you get all these people who are just posting about Kaspa. You don't get me up there right now because I haven't posted enough, fair enough. But you see all these, this is what Kaspa should be. It's not, you don't see any post from the Kaspa Unchained account. It's not going to be that way. Apart from people talking about it, delete this account. It's not that deep. Unfollow the account. It's not that deep. It's really, really not. Now, I'm the questions right now. QC claims it's under 100k. No way in hell. I am. Believe it or not, I am. This is also why I don't talk about, my holdings, because people either will or won't believe it, but I am. I'm a fish. I want to get up to a dolphin. I want to get up to a shark. I want to get up to a whale. But I'm not there yet. Maybe one day. But it's been a tough road. Most people have been going through their own lively struggles and whatnot. It's been tough. I've had to make the decision between putting more into Kaspa or put my money elsewhere that might be beneficial for my livelihood. I've not sold a single cent of my Kaspa, and I don't want to, and I don't plan to. Not sold any Kaspa. That much I can say with absolute conviction and confidence, and absolute promise to you, I've not sold any Kaspa. The most I've done is exchange some Kaspa into KRC 20s, but that's still kind of Kaspa anyways, because it's in the same ecosystem. But I've not sold any Kaspa, and even then, the Kaspa that I did convert into KRC 20 was, USDT I've just acquired from selling another token or coin, sold it into Kaspa, and then I put majority of that just into my Kas wallet, and then the other portion of it putting it into KRCs instead. But yeah. Some Kaspa better than no Kaspa, 100%, 100%. These guys are NSA or Mossad agents. Fair, yeah. So Escape said 2027, but I don't think he's familiar with Swamp and Mike. He did mention Kaspa makes ICP look like a tin can with a string versus iPhone 20. I mean, yeah. I haven't, again, I don't know the ins and outs of ICP, so I can't attest to ICP, but I don't think ICP is a good project. I think it looks good on the surface, although saying that its price looks terrible. But I don't think ICP is a good project, and I'll take the word of someone who's actually a builder, a Web3 developer who's built on ICP and said, yeah, I don't like it, I don't think it's great, and looks at Kaspa like, yeah, this could be huge if it gets everything right, which right now they are. And he did say 2027 is going to take a long, long time, which is his understanding as a developer, which is fair enough, and maybe he's right. But at the same time, we don't know until we get a timeline, a roadmap from Son Polinsky and Michael Sutton. Michael Sutton is going to release a roadmap, a very, I think he said very brave roadmap. So basically he's trying to put a very restrictive time constraint on him and Son Polinsky and the devs to get VProgs out. He's going to release that in the next couple of weeks or next few weeks. So hopefully before the end of the year. If that's the case, we could hopefully see it in 2026, which would be huge. Hopefully mid 2026. We also have heard that Son Polinsky and Michael Sutton want to try and aim to release VProgs and Dagnite in one hard fork. So if that's also the case, that would be huge. 2026 could be absolutely massive. If we do get a full year extended cycle, hypothetically speaking, Kaspa's gonna. It's a foundation building block again, so it's not going to cause a god candle necessarily. It's going to cause a lot of FOMO because the two biggest developments in crypto history, no doubt. But it won't necessarily cause a god candle, but it will be a big, big impact, and will start laying the foundation for more developing, more builders coming on board, testing it out, getting involved, building up the network activity, and that will cause bolster the ecosystem going forward as well. Welcome back, Ghost Super. You're doing very, very well on radio mode, I'm assuming. Great to have you back again, brother. Who is Tom? What? No idea. Will QC continue to feign ignorance? I have no idea who you're talking about. And I'm also being careful what name I say, because knowing you, it's going to probably be a Ligma joke or something like that. Yeah, radio mode again. Welcome back, Ghost Super. Great to have you here, brother. Keep grinding, my man. We moon yet? Not yet being home. Not yet. Welcome back, Willie. What do you think the KRCs will do once Kappa takes off? Will they be good leverage? Good leverage? I've been buying a lot recently. Let's talk about it then. Nope. That's Control T, not Control R. So we're looking KRCs. It's gonna be yes and no, right? They are high risk plays because they are significantly smaller in market cap. The biggest market cap is Nacho at 5.2 mil. I mean, technically it's TBD, whatever how that is, but no, it's Nacho at 5.2. So they're very small market cap, therefore it means a higher risk, higher reward. So in theory, the leveraging them, you know, whether you're actually gonna add a multiplier, you know, 2, 5, 10x, whether that's up to you, but in the potential that Kappa does take off, which we believe it can do in the future, the community strong and just in general foundationally built strong KRCs will take off as well. Now, I do think most will probably take off because I can wholeheartedly believe that the likes of CG, once Kappa takes off, will come back and start pumping KRCs again because he loved the memes. He's all about the memes, about the quick gains. So you'll see most KRCs take off again. You'll see more scams come out again as well, so be very careful about that. For me, I currently only hold 2 KRCs, not because I don't believe in the other ones right now, but because the 2 I have the most faith in that will come back and do well. Nacho, of course, the biggest one. I think it's very deeply integrated into the Kaspa ecosystem that it will just kind of use that and leverage it to very, very well. I think it's the one that holds Zeal tokens. And the other one is Wolfie, which I hold Wolfie because for me, it's basically a real world asset because their Wolfie token is also utilized in their stores, in their bars, their Wolfie bars, which are, you know, there's one based in London, and I think they're building more in South Africa as well. There are many, many others. I'm not too well versed in the likes of whatever Yuck is, whatever Popcat. I mean, and some of these I'm aware when they came out. You also then got the whole market that's on the Casplex, you know, all of the EVMs, if you will. So in regards to whether it be a KRC or whether it be on the Casplex layer 2 EVM, basically, we'll have to wait and see how well they do. It does inherently depend on Kaspa. These won't do well without Kaspa. The same thing how Solana means won't do well without Solana doing well. These have to do well with Kaspa doing well. That's the only way that it functions, really. I think Kaspa will do well, and these will also benefit. For me, you're going to see, no matter where you go in meme market, get rich quick scandal type of, you know, mentality. So most memes will probably come back, if not new ones will come back and do well as well. Like even Slow. Nothing against Slow whatsoever at all. I think Slow is actually quite a nice idea. It's got enough of a foundation to have a very, very strong community. The idea of Sompliki's turtle being called Bitcoin, therefore being Slow, I think that's a great idea. So Slow could do well. But to my understanding, it's got no utility. I'm someone who likes utility tokens. I like something that has an actual value or use case. Natural has that in some case. Wolfie has that in some cases as well. The other ones I'm not too well versed with. I think Kango might do. I think Kango, actually I spoke about it in my community a while back. Kango, they've released an AI agent that could be pretty big. Kango is also in the process of building a game for NFT revenue share, also pretty good. So they are developing stuff that can give it use case as well for the actual token. So that in itself is actually good. So Kango also could be a good shout. I know it was one of the biggest when it was first coming out because it was also one that pumped out exchange listings repeatedly. I think apparently they're meant to be also getting a listing with Kraken. There's no confirmed date, but I imagine when the markets are better, Kraken could probably list Kango as well. So the long and short of it is a lot of these probably can do well coming back when Kaspa does well, but the exact date of that is just unknown because we don't know when the market's going to come back and when Kaspa's going to come back as well. Kaspa's only up 1.69% at 4.5 cents. It's undervalued anything, but so is a whole of crypto. Welcome back, Thorhammer. Thank you for your information you give us. I'm not very tech savvy, so thank you. It's all good, brother. I appreciate you very, very much. And equally, I'm not the most tech savvy either, but because I've been in Kaspa for so very long, and you know, I'll be honest, I do sometimes leverage AI and some capabilities to give me some form of insight. I don't tell me to say, what does this whole thing mean? I'm just like, ask it a question and give my own thesis of what it may mean and just give a kind of a yes or no answer for me. But yeah, I mean, I try and make it as easy to understand as possible. So yeah, I appreciate it very much, Thor. Only Jesus can save us. Feels like that, yeah. Can we have a, sure. Good day, Governor. If we say it more cockney or British than that. Good day, Governor. Like, wait, big screen. Good day, Governor. There you go. You have a spare kidney. There's no excuse not to have. What can I tell you? I don't have that much. I hope you'll get there soon. Tom Bombadil is from Lord of the Rings. I thought you were cultured. I'll be honest, I've watched Lord of the Rings 2 times through. I don't remember all the names. If you ask me a Star Wars question, actually I say that. Hold my hands up, I've not watched Clone Wars. I'm sorry, I do plan to watch it, I've just not had the time. I've watched Clone Wars, but I do like Star Wars. But yeah, I'm not as well versed in Lord of the Rings. I've watched all of them and The Hobbit 2 times, 3 times through. I just don't remember the names, that's all. I'm not as well versed. Damn, Jay, hard to believe you're not a dolphin status yet. I'll get there. Again, I don't talk about my finances because they're personal. And people either will or won't believe it. But I'll get there. I have the utmost confidence I will. I've got, you know, my whole life ahead of me to get there. Especially now with the price being so low, it's the easiest opportunity for me to get there as well. Just got to make sure I have the capital to do so. I think Nacho can still reach 100 mil market cap. At a 5 mil market cap right now, you're asking for a lot. You're asking for a 20x, is that right? Yeah, 20x from here. I mean, if Kaspa reaches $1, then probably. But we have to wait and see. Do you hold any ZIL? If no, then why? Thank you. I don't currently hold any ZIL. Didn't get into any of their airdrops or token stuff, whatever. The reason why is I haven't used it yet. I have considered it though. Originally, I wasn't so sure how much I trusted them. I'm more trustful of them now. I've not used their platform ever yet. I do actually plan to though, because there are certain features they have on their decks, on their layer 2 that on their decks that I want to utilize. Stuff that I spoke about with my VIPs, what the smart money are trying to do as well. And I want to see if I can utilize Zealous for that as well. Part of the reason why I've not used it as well is because I'll be honest, I haven't got the utmost faith in Casplex. I'm still waiting for open source. Not that I would necessarily know what it means, but I want there to be clarity. Still no clarity yet. So I'm more than likely going to get an IGRA because I took part of the token pre-sale, and I just hope therefore they are more transparent. If they're not, then that's going to quite frustrate me. But yeah, it's yeah, I haven't got into it just yet, basically. There's no reason. There's nothing against Zeal as a platform or Dex. Nothing against them personally. I just haven't bothered doing it right now because, well, when the market is such a when you've got a market that's gone from risk on to risk off, why would you go into a even more risky market? You know, at least that's my risk tolerance. Being in crypto in and of itself is risk on. It's quite risky, but if I'm in Kaspa, that's a risk. If I'm going into the KRCs or the ecosystem below that, it's an even bigger risk. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with doing that right now, but it's not part of my risk tolerance right now. I'm probably looking to get into that in the next few months. Fair enough. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to tell you. JV, because of this past bubble one, he made a fair amount of money from gaming plays. Right, cool. Fair enough. I'm just going to leave it at that. I've been saying for months that Bitcoin were rumors to that 94K would hit on a Thursday. I don't remember you. I have not seen you mention that. I mean, maybe it's my ignorance again, but I don't remember you messaging in my chat very often, Michael, respectfully. I mean, if you did call it, then fair enough. And that's exactly what I've also called here as well. If you drop below here, the next supports are, well, actually, the next support is a little bit around 90K, but the major support's actually down here at 88. There's no major support at 90K, really. You've got this little zone here. Oh, actually, well, it is a support at 90K. I mean, yeah, I did say there are supports at 90K. I wouldn't say it's a major support, though. Actually, the major support is probably at 88K. If you think about, again, that 30% correction that you see every single time, 30% push down at 88K. So it's very possible. If I get extra cash, should I buy Bitcoin at Kaspa? Up to you, Wing Hong. Completely up to you. Bitcoin's safer. Kaspa has higher ROI potential. Why are you wearing a hoodie over a beanie? Is that a UK thing? Because I'm cold. It's winter. I'm cold. So I'm just wearing it like that. It's also fashion. But I'm cold. Yeah, precisely. Well, anyways, family, that does conclude today's Kaspa live stream, crypto live stream. If you enjoyed, family, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. Don't be emotional, be logical. Times are tough, but this is still, by all means, by design and my belief. These are surface distractions for what is becoming the next foundational layer of financial markets. We are in the cusp of seeing crypto evolve from a niche into a legitimate asset class, as my documentation shows. And Kaspa, I'm still bullish on because it has everything to play for. All massive developments coming through. DAG Knight, VProgs, massive institutions regarding KID are getting involved as well. We are early, we are fortunate, we are blessed, family. Don't be emotional. Stay locked in. To find out more, level up your game. Understanding in crypto, the importance of knowledge is so underrated. To find out more, check out the VIP. Links down below in the description. Get access to documentation like these and so much more. Use the free trials there as well, so you can get access to it for free. Just learn everything in there in a short time frame, and then either choose to sign on longer or not. We'll have our executive roundtable on Monday because I have no internet tomorrow, so there'll be no live stream tomorrow, so I can't go live tomorrow, unfortunately. But check out the VIP, links down below in the description, and also on my homepage as well. On my royalty, I wish. Have you considered selling? Okay, cool. Right. Let's leave it at that. Thank you, Mr. Miles, as always. Have a great day, good evening, good night, family. Shame on you.